Hello and welcome back to Medicine Creek. Just brought the truck down to the field because I've had to fuel this guy up probably 3 times now. And I really am glad that I set this up as a courseplay because he's been at it now for 2 hours in game. This field is absolutely massive. It really is. Let's just quickly jump in and you can see the amount that he's had to do. So he's got 7 minutes left, but this is the actual route that he's had to take. Now I did have to do the boundary of the field myself. So I'll just quickly go to this. You can see that I've had to do field 54 edge and then obviously do the swather after. But yeah, insane really, the amount of grass that was missed off on the actual normal edge. It's a bit of a strange one because if you check on precision farming as well, you can see that, yeah, the amount that you can see this little patch here in field 54. Then if you do actually look at the grass that's been mowed, you can see that it's completely different. It's like missing off most of this area over here, so which is a bit strange, but I did decide to do it properly, the whole field, which I am glad about. But the only problem is, I didn't expect it to be this much. It's insane. I've got a hell of a lot of grass, and what I was going to do was try and pick it up some way and put it into the actual fermenting silo, which you can just see there, big blue silo. So what I had to do, because of that, was find some kind of mod that will allow me to pick up this, obviously this fresh grass and turn it into silage in there, a little bit easier than what it would have been by doing it with a small, maybe pickup. Now, I've been looking at trying to find something American, and I struggled. Now, I kind of did find a couple that were supposed to be American pickup wagons. I don't think it's that common, and we were either going to do that or some actual silage bales, but I wanted to use the actual fermenting silo, and I think what normally happens, I'm guessing, is it's picked up with a forage harvester and then put in the trailer and then tipped that way. But that was just going to be too much money. So what I did do is I found this mod, which I think is going to absolutely rinse for it, which is this John Deere pickup wagon. And yes, I know it's probably not real. It doesn't probably exist, this John Deere model, but I've tried to keep it somewhat American by going with John Deere, and then I've got a pickup wagon, but it'll do the job. And I think then next time around what we'll do is we'll buy a wrapper and we'll properly do silage bales wrapped. I think that's the best option. Quickly, I just want to say again, thank you to everyone that sponsors the channel and becoming a member. Really do appreciate that, and I have updated the board so everyone's name's now on there that's a current member. And I've also put my new logo on there, which I'm hoping everyone is liking, because I do think it's pretty cool. It's definitely an upgrade. Right, so let's talk about the hay bales, because there is rain on the way, so we need to get these out the field ASAP before they pretty much pick up some moisture and then they'll start rotting. As soon as the rain hits them, that means them bales are done for. So what I have been doing whilst the guy's been obviously swathing away in the big field is I've been picking up the bales the best I can, and I have to say I'm pretty chuffed with the way I stacked them. It turned out pretty well. So the majority of them are stacked, like I said I would do, but I have got a few left to do, so we'll do that quickly now. Get them out the field, and then try and put some of them away, and if not, we can back the trailer into the shed, so at least it doesn't get covered. So let's get some more bales. We'll carry on with this. I have enjoyed it though, to be honest, putting these bales on that trailer. It kind of worked out. It wasn't too difficult. The bale, I do like the trailer as well. I'm using like this flatbed. It is a bit different than what I'm, let's say, normally doing when it comes to stacking bales onto a trailer. So I find it a little bit easier as well. As long as I don't obviously open up the tailgate at the end, because then them back 2 bales are going flying. Now, I have been trying to be as careful as possible, and as you can see, this bale here is having a little bit of a movement on its own without me wanting that to happen. I'm still doing it now. That'll be fine, we can push that one a bit forward. So yeah, we'll get these out of the way, put them in the shed. I might unload as many as I can before it starts raining. And then I think we'll go and use that pickup wagon and get some of the grass into the fermenting silo. And then, again, all that's left, which I mentioned in the last episode, is going to be the herbicide and then that final field for some liquid fert. So definitely not much left now before harvest. And I did get reminded by someone in one of the previous episodes about the fact that I was talking about maybe upgrading my tractor and thinking I'm going to have a big harvest, and that is true. It is going to be a big harvest, and probably on any other map it would be some pretty good income. But he did remind me that the prices on this are more in line with real world, so you don't really get as much as what maybe I was hoping for. So I need to keep that in mind, because you know, if I do expect to get a good whack and then I end up not getting a good whack, I don't know why these bales on that right hand side keep moving forward. It's a bit strange. Got a mind of its own. So yeah, I mean, I need to keep that in mind, because yeah, like I said, I don't want to expect to get quite a bit of money and then eventually not get much money at all. I'll do. So yeah, what I was saying is I don't want to expect to get quite a bit of money and then not get that much. So we're probably going to get less than what it's normally expected on other maps, but it should definitely still be enough to hopefully upgrade at least one piece of kit. I would like to get another field, but with me not knowing if I'm going to move on to another American map, I think we'll make that choice when we get closer to a bit close to that bale. There we go, that'll do. So I am surprised as well that this 4440 did well at lugging these around. It really did. Just put the straps on. I did think it might struggle a little bit, but it did alright. You can definitely pull it anyway, and that's the main thing. Right, so what I'm going to do is just park this up in a good place where we can unload it. And then we'll go and sort out the swather. And it's finally finished that field. But left me with a lot of work to do. Now I don't know if I'm going to do the whole field, I'll be honest. I'm going to pick up as much as possible. It's a good size loading wagon. It has got a good capacity. Right, so I think that'll be perfect there. Gives us a good point to pick up the bales and then obviously put them in here. We've got loads of space in here as well. We're going to store probably all the bales in here. So we're going to be a lot of straw in here and also the hay. And then luckily we don't have to worry about storing off the silage bales. But if we did, I think we probably could fit quite a bit in here, but we'd probably need to find a way of stacking them high without us having a telehandler on the farm. But I don't imagine telehandlers are probably a common thing in America. I might be wrong, but correct me if I am wrong. And if I am, then yeah, let me know what kind of telehandler you usually see on an American farm, if you see any. Right, so let's just quickly go and sort out the swather. He's now finished his job. As you can see, he's nearly emptied another tank of fuel. He really has done a fair amount there. We'll have to bring the truck back as well at some point. I mean, that trailer, that service trailer really did come in handy. It really did, because I could follow up the side of it, turn the actual pump on the trailer, and if I'd got to the side of it as if I was like unloading, if it was a harvester or something, it'd stop, fill up with fuel and just carry on. So it was really useful. Definitely think this needs a clean. So I might just try and stack a few at least and then back it in after. It is probably going to take me as long to unload them as it just did to to load them up. In fact, it might be a little bit quicker because I had to pick up the bales and then align them together as two, so I can pick them up together easier and stack them. Whereas this time around I can just take them straight off. So I think what will be a good idea is to take off the actual straps that are only going to be needed straight away, because we're not going to need that strap there, and we'll go along like that. I think that makes more sense, because then we won't knock any off by accident. I mean, we're lucky as well because we are running out of all the feed types, so this hay is definitely going to come in handy just to keep them ticking along. I've got so much storage space in here. These two bales are pretty much going to take up no room. It is a good sized shed. When I first saw this farm on this map, I honestly thought it was something to do with the cows. It seems like the cows are just permanently outside, which I can understand because it seems like it's always nice weather, except the first time I played on it with a bit of rain. But even when it's raining, it's not actually cold. Still good temperatures. Which is something that I'm pretty much going to have to get used to. So hopefully this won't take me too long. But because it's going to be quite a repetitive job, what I'll actually do is just finish it off and then I'll cut back in when I've unloaded all the bales, and that way we can pretty much crack on in the video with me using the forage wagon to pick up the grass from the field so we can store it into the fermenting silo, and then at least we can make TMR then as soon as we get the straw. Right, so I'm on the last two bales. Didn't actually take that long at all, really. And I've stacked them up pretty well. But I think we'll definitely have enough now for quite a while for hay. I don't think we'll have, if we do stay on it for more than one season, more than one harvest, like we pretty much won't need to do any more in the next year, definitely, because yeah, I've only got 15 cows, so this will definitely last us a while. I mean, I think they have around 90,000 litres of food a year, so that's 90,000 anyway there. I think what I'll quickly do as well is just park up the flatbed in here. And then it's out the way, and it also keeps it near the bales, which is probably one of the major things it's going to be used for, as well as picking stuff up from the store if we need them. But I think a lot of the fertiliser, IBCs and pallets and everything, the majority of it you're going to get from that store, except the seeds. I think the seeds we've been buying from the shop, but majority of that's going to be definitely for bales. Right, so let's crack on with picking some grass up and actually checking out that fermenting silo. Here we go. Now, I'm obviously using the 7310 for this because it is going to have quite a bit of weight in it. So I may as well use the most powerful tractor I've got. I think we'll start from about here. Should be fine. Now, I don't know if I'm going to pick up the whole field, I'll be honest. What I might actually do is just leave it in the field, see what happens after the rain hits, because I don't think I'm going to pick this up in time. And then if there's any left after it's all obviously rotted away, we'll have to see what we can do, but I don't think, it's very unlikely basically that I'm going to be able to pick up all this grass in the time when this rain comes, because it's pretty much right around the corner. So as long as I've got enough for silage, I don't mind. It's probably a waste of fuel for the swather to do the whole field, but it's good to know if we needed it. We've got plenty of grass. So as you can see, I'm only 10% full. It's going to pick up quite a bit. I'm already at £4,000, and this will definitely hold a vast majority of grass. Now, if you do want to know what that equates to in litres, what I'll quickly just do is open up this. You can see that it's the least item. I was going to show you. I think that's 95,000 litres. So that's good. So you can see it's 95,000 litres, which is a hell of a lot. It really is. Makes you think how much grass I've got in this field. I'm already 20% on the way to 95,000 litres, which is enough for me to feed the cows with the hay and the straw come in for the next 3 years maybe. Unless they obviously grow crazy, but I don't think we will get much calves coming into the next year. Probably another 5, maybe 6 or 7, something like that. So we won't be shy on feed, and then that's good because we can then focus solely on the crops, doing the corn and obviously the wheat, and then maybe doing an even bigger field next year, and not have to worry about focusing on cutting grass or anything like that. We can just keep the cows fed, get a bit of extra money from the milk they produce, and then do one big harvest. I think that'll be a good idea. Right, so I'm at 98%, and unfortunately the rain has decided to start falling now, which means the ground is getting wet and the grass is going to start rotting away. So I don't know what to do, to be honest. We're now at 100%. I think it's important just for me to get this load into the silo, and the rest I don't know what to do with. I mean, I could try and pick up another load, or I might just skip time. I mean, we've definitely got enough here. If this ferments into the 90,000 litres or the 36,000 pounds, then I personally think I've got plenty with the amount of hay that I've got and straw to feed the cows for a couple of years, which is more than enough than what we need. So I think it might just be a good idea to progress a bit of time, let the rain obviously disappear, and then we'll probably do a bit of a time lapse of me spraying some herbicide in these remaining fields that need it. But first, let's go and take this to the silo. Serious amount of grass in this trailer, serious amount. Right, so let's back up to this and then I'll start tipping in. Now that should eventually turn to silage, because right now it's just showing us chaff and then obviously the silage that's in there. But if we just have a quick look, I don't know if it'll show us on here the amount of grass that we've got. Yes, it does, luckily. So you can see the grass is going in there, which is good news. And then eventually it will, change over to silage. So, job done, I say. Right, so that's good news then. At least that's that. And we've got enough silage now, enough hay, which is out of the rain. So we did that just in time. And then we'll have plenty of straw. We'll probably have a lot of straw. So what I'll do now is I'll speed up time and I'll cut back in when it's sunny again. And we'll crack on with some herbicide. Right, so welcome back. I am now doing crop damage, unfortunately, in the cornfield. But I am obviously getting rid of the weeds that are sitting here. So we're going to have to pretty much just try our best to not do too much damage in this field. But from what it looks like, we are going to do a little bit of damage. Well, a big chunk of it, it seems. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. Could have done it a bit earlier. Probably should have done that. But hey ho. I could probably try and put narrow tyres on, but the whole point of me playing realistic in this series was the fact that, yeah, I don't really think narrow tyres would stop crop destruction. So we're just going to have to drive through and hope that we don't do a massive amount. I mean, it's not ideal. I mean, I did want to avoid tram lines in this field for the reason of, yeah, trying to avoid crop damage. But if we just pretty much now just turn around and go back down on ourselves, it should be, yeah, it should be alright, hopefully. Here's hoping anyway. Because if we just have a look, we are taking a good amount of it away. No, just not all of it, but if I can go around the sides of the field and hopefully sort that out. It's a shame that I do so much damage. It really is. You can see the amount of weeds that are there because it's killing off quite a few of them. But I could, like I said, I could have got narrow tyres. I could get a sprayer with narrow tyres, but I think right now just all costs too much. We still should get a good yield. I mean, we're only taking a little bit out here. And I think we need to probably come up once more. Unfortunately, at least we got the tram lines in the wheat field, which is coming along really quickly. I mean, a lot quicker than what I expected as well. It seems like the growth rate through seasons on this map is a lot different than what I expect. So we really need to get down them tram lines and spread some of this herbicide to get rid of them weeds and also then fertilise it. So I'm hoping I get a chance to fertilise it because at the rate it's going, it might be done by the time the next episode starts. Right, so I'm going to have to go back up this side and then just hope that that's enough. Not ideal at all, really isn't. I mean, that rain's really done me in because I could have spread this herbicide before I'd actually skipped time to get rid of the rain, but I guess that's farming. Bad weather just brings bad luck. I mean, it's interesting how sometimes we're not doing as much damage, but other times we are. Because now, for example, we're leaving a little strip in the middle, but on the other two, it seems like there's places where I didn't do that at all. I mean, like I said, I could use narrow tyres, and it is playing on my mind. Should I be using narrow tyres? But then I also think if I do use narrow tyres, it kind of beats the object of me wanting to use tramlines. Saying that you know, even if you drive over some crop with a narrow tyre, it's still going to damage it. So I think we'll just go with this. We'll play it realistically. That if we're driving over the crop, it's going to damage it. Doesn't matter what tyres I use, unless I obviously use tramlines. And the more that we can get rid of the weeds, especially in these cornfields, the better. Right, so let's just have a quick look. A little bit there, but we can miss that. That's not too bad. And then what we pretty much need to do now is directly in the middle where we can see this dry patch just underneath the crop. That's where we're going to have to go. And then try and meet back up on the tram line that we've already done. I think that should be good enough then. And yes, we've got a bit of damaged crop, but it's no different to what's in the wheat field. They're technically tram lines. Right, so here we go. So what I'll do now is, because this video is getting pretty long, I have been recording for quite some time, and I want to finish off the herbicide in this field and also in the field over there as well. So what I'll do is I'll put a time lapse in now of me finishing off this field and also taking the tram lines over there, and then I'll cut back in when it's done and we'll have a little recap to see what damage we've done, if it's going to be, a major impact or not. Right, so welcome back. You can see that we've killed off a hell of a lot of weeds in this cornfield, and you could probably get lost in here forever. And I do like the effect of it, so I am happy that we've ended up doing this. This has actually turned out, again, in our favour. Now, I could have spread the herbicide a lot quicker, but for some reason this map is definitely a lot different than what I expected it to be in regards to the growth of the crops. I knew I was going to be doing crop damage as soon as it got to a certain height, so that's not a problem. And actually looking at the fields itself, we just quickly have a jump up so you can see better. I do like how it looks. I do like this effect. I mean, these are proper trend limes, but we've obviously put them in after. So I'm happy with that. So the corn isn't too bad. It really isn't. Can't do it in the soybeans at field 52. It's just too small, and there's only like 2 spots of weeds. And I am doing crop damage in there. Now, saying that, we have got an issue. So I was going through this field and I was on like the 3rd row, and I noticed that none of the weeds are disappearing. And the reason for that is something completely that's taken me by surprise. And I am still a little bit unsure how this is possible, but the field is already ready to harvest. So it's just turned ready to harvest, which is definitely quick, a lot quicker than what I expected in regards to when I planted the crop. I mean, it can be ready to harvest all around here. Now, I thought it'd probably be around here if it was winter planted or autumn planted over the winter. But because I probably planted it around, I can't remember exactly now, but it was definitely around here. I expect it to be at least start of autumn. At least the earliest late autumn. Late summer, sorry. I have never known wheat to be ready to harvest it in pretty much at the start of summer. So that is strange, but the problem is I didn't spread the herbicide and I also didn't spread the fertilizer. So I really did want to optimize that field, but it looks like I'm going to miss out on that now. But oh well, at least I've learnt for the next time round that these are definitely different climates, and also definitely different growth stages. But at least we got some use out of them tram lines. We got it for doing the lime. But yeah, the weeds, there isn't too many. I think the biggest thing that's obviously going to have an effect is the fact that it's not fertilised fully. It's about 50% fertilised to where it should be. So that is a shame. And as you can see, there isn't that much weeds. It's not ideal, but it's not going to have as much of an impact as what these two fields would have done. But yeah, that is very quick, definitely. And like I said, I did try this out. You can just see the little bit of crop damage I did in the soybeans, but again, these are small fields, you don't have to worry about that. So at least the corn is all sorted. The weeds are gone, the majority of them, and also it's fertilised. And yeah, the wheat, not ideal. Still a bit of weeds in the field, but not much. But the main reason that we're going to have a problem there is because we haven't fertilised it enough. But anyway, every day's a learning day, and I've definitely learnt to get that done as soon as possible and stop faffing around with hay bales and grass silage. Right, so I am going to leave the video there. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. That really does help my channel out. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator.